Good afternoon, all. CamelbackTrading.org coming to you this Wednesday afternoon, April 21st, and we're looking at Window Trader's market profile of SPY, IWM, and triple Qs. And as you recall, in this morning's video, short, concise, told you what we were looking for. We said one of two things is going to happen. Either those B shapes for long liquidation means it's not real selling and they're going to give it up, or what happened early on both Monday and Tuesday when we ripped down A through E and had trend days, they'll show up again and we'll go take out last week's low. Well, clearly after today's action, we know who was in the market selling it on Monday, Tuesday. And that's nothing but long liquidation from the highs, weak longs getting out, shorts pushing down. And we come and take it all back today. We have trend days up in all three of these indices. We hit new all-time highs. Just in the transports today, but we did hit an all-time high in the transports. We took back both yesterday's trend day and the 19th trend day, and we go out with one of our own. ES only has one small set. We have two small sets in SPY. We end 7 wide. Again, the POC's fairly wide for a trend day, but it is. 6 wide Russell, 9 wide in Qs. Even though we basically drove straight up, the tempo was, after A and B, the tempo was horrific. Horrific. I ended up with a decent day. I'll go over that in a minute. And that's taking a large call play that saved me late in the day. I did not trade any of the other indices. I just traded SPY today. Actually took a short in A period when we traded up against. I started at around M's high overnight and added inside the singles. Wasn't getting anything for it. Even though the singles weren't filling, I was down money. I said, I'm out on this trade. This is, this is different than A period of the previous 2 days. I got out and I took a loss. I went long in B period. We opened, came back, went up, came back a little bit, and I scalped longs. And those are the 414 puts that expired today that I lost money on in A. The calls were the 412 calls. Did them a couple of times, made decent money on them. To put me back in the green. Then I went back to the short side, the 416 puts in C, because we had no tempo. I said, once we fill the single prints, I said, here's the next line in the sand. The lower end of the upper distribution from yesterday. Now, initially, I thought there was a good chance we could battle this for a while. And I said, if sellers win, we'll probably trade inside the single prints and above the lower distribution. I said, if buyers win, though, we will take out yesterday's high and then start going. Well, obviously, the latter happened as we did hold it and went up. We didn't battle it, though, as much as I thought we would. We only stayed there, B, C, D, and then we went. But I took a short and C, which worked out. Now, I took a long in F period. I took the 413 calls also. So I had shorted C, that worked out. I did nothing. D, E, F came in a little bit. I'm like, we're still one time framing up. We have singles, took a long, took it back up to F's high. Those worked. And then I took a short in J. I just kept reversing because there was two-sided trade. There was no tempo either way, so I wasn't staying married. So even though the single prints were holding, I wasn't staying married to these. So I took a short in J. Again, the 417s, they worked. Now, here's where I got myself in a little bit of trouble. K period, I took a short. We took out J's low. I took a short. I thought there's a good odds of getting below the 144 and at least filling one of my set of single prints and getting some weak longs to flush out. That obviously didn't happen. It went up. I added a little bit. I kept this trade, KL. I added one time in L. It came in. I got some back, but I was still short. M, I never added. It popped the top. I finally took it off, and it was a decent-sized loss. But what I did, as soon as M started going, once I took the short off, I went long size calls. I went long 125 calls, which took all that red away from the short trade and put me nicely in the green. Because I thought for sure we would go and fill, finally, the second set of single prints, which we did. So, ended up being a good day. Very methodical day, good part of the afternoon, and then we decided to shoot. So, let's go to destinations for tomorrow. Upside, first one will be today's high. We only have, now, Think about what the sellers did the last 2 days. We had single prints. We had wide pops. There was things for them to lean on, and they gave it all away. All we have is 3 reference points to the upside. 416.29, today's high. 416.74, the 19th high. And then the all-time high of 417.91, which is a weekly high. For the downside, we went out with a price probe. It'll be 415.24. I apologize. Then we have the afternoon pullback. K's low of 414.76. Then 2 sets of single prints for me, and they are small. 414.35 get filled at 34, only 2 cents. Second one, 414.15 get filled at 10. So they are both very small and both very close to each other. So if this market does pull back tomorrow, they'll get wiped out easily. Then we don't have anything to today's low of 411.36. We do have a very nice buy tail of about 170 ticks. And then 410.59, yesterday's low, 410.20 weekly low. And you talk about a nuance. Do you remember yesterday when K period made a new low on the day, and I thought the odds for getting last week's low were very good. They got rejected so fast it wasn't even funny, and we never saw that level again. Yesterday or today. I wouldn't be surprised, forget about long-term sellers showing up. I wouldn't be surprised if long-term buyers defended that weekly low. They're not going to be buying up here to long-time buyers. They're not going to chase. But if it gets to an area that they think should be defended or want to defend, well, maybe they were in there yesterday defending it on the buy side. And then on the chart, and you can see it clearly here on the weekly. Look at this. Look at this weekly chart, that bar now. Just missed taking out last week's low by 39 cents, and we're just about $2 off the all-time high. So we're still one time in framing up for 3 weeks with 2 days to go. And the daily, we went to balance 2 days ago, down yesterday, back to balance. So the bears couldn't even keep the daily down for more than 1 day. We are back to balance. I hope you had a great day trading. Come check us out at camelbacktrading.org. Have a great evening, and we'll speak prior to the opening tomorrow.